Hi, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
So what brings you in today?
I just want to talk about my current divorce.
Okay.
Yeah.
What parts are bringing you in? What parts are bothering you?
Just feeling sad, about the loss of the relationship.
Okay.
Mm.
Alright. I guess, divorce is a big deal and it's a lot to it. So, where would you like to start with that? Would you like to start with what went wrong or what you're missing about it, or?
No, I decided to get a divorce.
Okay.
What I figured has occurred again is I have kind of abandonment type of issues, and so me presenting to her as we got to know each other, we were married, getting to know each other, it became that it was like, who is this guy? And it felt like she was not accepting me for who, was. It became a problem, and also it's hard for me to. I thought I was finished with these adolescent things, like I like to go out sometimes, and I'm very open as far as my sexuality and just open to learn, right? So her getting to know more of that about me, it became like, I think she became more guarded, and I became like, okay, she doesn't accept me, and it seemed like what happened is before she dumps me, I'm going to dump her.
Okay.
That's what I realized at this point.
And that must be really hard to, I guess, expose yourself like that and then have someone not accept you or almost withdraw from you.
Yeah, it's just, I felt like I blame myself. I mean, obviously she said, you tricked me, or, like, who are you? You changed. I'm like, we change every day. Like, we're in the process of growth and blah, all this stuff. I'm always so philosophical. I'm full of myself sometimes, I think. But I do believe that. And so I'm in the process of doing that, trying to learn about myself more and more. And she just felt like, it seemed like she was just like, no, this is who I am, and I'll be like this till I die. And I'm like, I'm not there with you on that. And so what happened was, that became another wedge. Her saying that, obviously it's my fault. It was my decision. I accept that, but I felt bad. Like, wow, I hurt her. I'm hurt too, but my choice. It was my choice to divorce. What I came to said to myself is, hey, you and her were in a relationship. You both decided to be in a relationship, and she wasn't going to be like, I think her background, she came from mother and father. We grew up with them, and I came up from, let's just, mother, a little bit of, mother boyfriend, and it was, let's just say my perception on marriage, I realize, is not what I thought it was.
Okay.
Because this is my second marriage, and I'm realizing that though I believe in my heart that I'm romantic, and I want this Hollywood thing, and you meet this person.
Yeah, like on the movies, kind of.
Like on the movies.
Yeah.
Reality is, you meet somebody, honeymoon period is over, and obviously I know this.
Yeah.
I know this stuff. It's textbook. The thing is, what happens is, I felt like I was being treated like an object. The contract.
Can you give me an example of
The objectification?
of how she treated you like an object?
No, I said I felt that way.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily
Sorry.
at times she was, I felt owned. Like a comment would be, not necessarily she said this, but she agreed, oh yeah, you got papers on him. you know,
Yeah.
which is kind of unnerving to me, because of what we've been going through, and then things like that. You know, I just started to feel like, you know, I couldn't even be myself, and I had to make a decision. You know, stretch this out another year. You know, let's try this counseling again, or just stop right now. You get what you want, you know, this traditional picket fence and 2 children and a dog thing. And I just kind of, you know, be me, which is kind of, right now it feels like it will be, sometimes I feel like I'm in despair, like I will never be with anybody because of, you know, because of the way I am.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like it's better that way because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm hurt or the other person's hurt.
Okay. So it's almost like you're trying to, I guess, get back to you and not worry so much with, you know, someone standing over you, kind of expecting certain things from you.
Right.
And when
right.
she has different expectations than you do.
Yeah. 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 I mean, initially it was just like, wow, we fall in love. You know, I didn't plan it. You know, and I was so excited. You know, the wedding and the reception and all that. And then what happened is as I let my guard down more, and I was just like, yeah, I like doing this. You know, I tried sharing more and more with the things I like, because, you know, I'm pretty much open to experiencing a multitude of different things. Because I figured this is Earth School kind of thing, you know. But more and more I found she's just like, no, this is not Earth School. This, you know, she's very solid, very, you know, like tangible, like concrete. And I'm just like, oh, look at this, you know, the clouds, and, you know, I'm like here, and look at this theory, and ooh, can we try this? You know, one of the things that became a problem is I began looking into polyamory.
Okay.
And it became a problem because I was reading a book about it.
Okay.
I don't know, her behavior, I reassured I'm reading a book about this because I'm interested, because I just don't know, you know, this, but it became an issue. Like she would say mean things and do mean things to me, and I was just like, it just set up flags like, okay. And it reminds me of something she always said, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And so what started to happen was, I'm just like, wow, I grew up with a person like this, my mother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she loves you to death, but her tongue is sharp as, I mean, her nickname is Blade. You know, her cousins and friends call her Blade because of her tongue. It's hurtful, very abusive. And I started seeing little things, you know, like passive aggressive things or whatever, and I was just like, and at that point, I was exhausted. Not because of the relationship, but because of my relationships and the masks. You know,
Okay.
trying to be, here's the guy, and, you know, I'm here, and, you know, and do this song and dance thing. I'm like, no.
Well, can you tell me what that was like, I guess, to have to wear all those different masks, to have to, you know, once you started revealing yourself, to almost get it rejected in a way?
It felt hurt because what happens is I start to, like I did as a child, you know, repress it, you know, like put it away. But then it just starts to hurt. It is this hurt, like I'm killing myself, like, you know, like I'm dying.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, sometimes I'll be talking, I'm like, you don't see what's happening. I told you, you know, like we and she's just like, what? You know, everything's, you know, it's okay, we talked about it and it's finished, right? We move on. I'm like, I feel like I'm dying. Like I can't talk to you about like stuff I'm reading, or I love documentaries. You know, like I'm always like, looking for information, you know, things that interest me. You know, and it's just like sometimes it'll be like I'm talking, and I understand not to overwhelm, and she'll be like, she'll be like this, it's, you know, like, and I'll be like, okay. So then I have to, you know, seek some other group to speak to, you know. I'm not from here, so she is my group. She was my group.
Okay. So it was almost like you really didn't have anyone else to talk to, and anyone that you really had anything in common with, and So you would give her a load of information that she just necessarily didn't care
Yeah,
about.
but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Man, that has to be tough to be away from home or where you're originally from and not
Mhm.
know many people, and I guess the person you do know not really have anything in common with.
Yeah, I mean, over time, I guess what started to happen is you started to see, wow, we don't have as much in common as we
As you thought
thought.
once the honeymoon period was over.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, the honeymoon period. Like, we waited 9 months. We got married after 9 months.
Okay.
The honeymoon period. Yeah, it wasn't as long as I thought it would be. But yeah, I guess it was a reality check for me as far as my journey. You know, where I'm at in my life.
And where you're headed.
Yes, where I'm headed.
Okay. Well, on that note, we will pick up next week,
Mhm.
and thank you for coming in.
Okay. You're good. You're good.